All right, I just figured it out. I just figured out how to connect a GPT to a Google Doc. This sounds like it's revolutionary, but maybe it's not. But anyway, I can ask any of my past sales conversations a question like, give me 3 takeaways from these conversations. And it's pretty good. It gives me some real responses like people like the functionality, they like the data and security, and they like the fact that we have AI transcripts and summary. If you don't understand the reason why this is kind of cool is because I'm giving demos about Backtrack, which is always on up in your menu bar when you drag back. You can go back up to 5 hours in the past to grab audio screen, internal audio recordings. So in this case, it can be a conversation. I mean, I just set up this bot like less than an hour ago. And so in this case, I can actually grab sales conversations I was having this morning, 5 hours ago, and then train my GPT. So you might be saying, well, there's a way to do this already. You can just like upload the document. Well, what about conversations that like the entire team is having? Was everyone going to just like dump it into like one Slack document? Like it's too complicated. So now everybody can dump their conversations into a Google Doc. Super easy. So you can take existing conversations that you might have in other platforms. You can use Backtrack conversations in the past and have it just continually feed into your Google Doc. And here's how you do it. So first things first is you have to go into OpenAI and then create a connection here. So you go to actions.zapier.com/GPT/actions. You go to add new action. It's going to look something like this. And you're going to type in the words webhooks. Make sure that it's the get. You paste in this link that you get. And at the end, you backspace everything that says like sharing and all that. And you all the way up to the question mark. And then you leave the question mark and you put export format equals text. That's it. Hit done. So from there, you need to copy this and paste it at the end here in the instructions. So in the instructions, Zapier gives you all of this. So you just paste the instructions. And at the end, you paste behind the question mark here, what you just copied. And then you paste it right here after the word action. I actually gave it, and I said, here's the Google Doc, and I gave it the actual sharing link as well. So here you would backspace up to the slash, not the question mark. So correction from earlier. But anyway, I gave it some context as to what they're doing. I said that you're an assistant, you can look at this document and all that. So now that's it. That's all you have to do. And that's how you get the document to be into Google. So this is really powerful if you have like a client and you're like, what did my one client say? You can set up a GPT for every single one of your clients. You can set up a GPT for all of your user interviews to be in one. So you can just ask the question like, build me a roadmap based on the conversations I've been having. What's the number one requested feature that I'm maybe missing? Like you can ask it questions based on just Google Docs, which is just really cool. So here's how you set up Zapier to capture all of your backtracks. Because you don't want it to you want all the sales. In this particular case, I want only the sales conversations, not every conversation. I use Backtrack for everything. So in this case, when a new recording is made in Backtrack, I'm going to delay it by 30 minutes. Is really important only because Backtrack doesn't transcribe in seconds. It's not magic. It's going to take a little bit, especially for 5-hour long ones. Probably need to make that a little bit longer, but it's okay because it's just going to be feeding the system. If it takes 3 days, it doesn't really matter as long as your conversation transcripts are getting into the doc. After that, make sure, in my case, I wanted to only put in sales conversations. So as long as it contains the word sales, it needs to be added to this document. So that's what this step is for. It needs to go and find the document. It's not just going to post it to every document in the world. It needs to go find the right document. In this case, I created a doc called Sales GPT Conversations. Again, as easy as copying and pasting it in here. Super, super easy. No, I don't want it to create a new doc every single time that it doesn't find it. And then finally, it's going to go find that document name, which in this case was the GPT, and then find the ID, not the name, but in this case, it found the ID. And then I have all this pasted in. You don't need all this. All you would need is obviously just transcript, but you need some way to delineate between the transcripts. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep pasting in transcripts, and it's not going to know the difference between the conversations. There's so much more you can do with this, especially if you connect it to Calendar. But if you have any questions about any of this, please let me know.